Hey, Audrey! Where in the world have you been? We've been trying to get in touch with you. And why aren't you answering any of my phone calls? If I didn't know better, I'd think that you were trying to avoid me. I haven't heard anything from you lately, so I'm getting a little worried about Derek's condition. What's his status? How is my son doing? And are you spending enough time with him at the hospital? He needs you there.
Oh, hi, Gloria. How are you? Sorry I wasn't able to answer your calls. I've been very busy at work, so I haven't been able to answer the phone a lot of the time.
Even if you're at work, you should be able to at least keep in touch with us and update us. It's not that hard to just answer the phone or pick it up and call us.
Sorry, but today was really very busy and I just couldn't get back to you. I apologize.
Please don't make excuses. It sounds insincere and dishonest and makes you look lazy. So, how is Derek doing? Is he getting better? Any improvement?
His condition is pretty much the same as it's been. Not really better or worse, but mostly stable. So I'm glad for that. But it does seem like he's getting a bit more sleep than he was before, little by little. So that's something of an improvement from how he's been.
I see. So, he isn't really getting better then? Just staying the same? Status quo?
Well, he is making an effort to eat sometimes now, which is also a good thing for sure. We should be thankful for that too. They said that he probably wouldn't have much of an appetite for now, but it seems like that didn't turn out to be the case.
Still, that doesn't mean that he's actually getting better, does it? Sounds like he's pretty much the same as before.
Well, that's probably true overall. We just have to wait, see how things go, and hope for the best.
Well, I haven't given up yet. Not in the least. Not at all. I'm just thinking about how he's probably going to have to keep fighting this illness for a while yet. It's been a long battle, and he must be tired of fighting it. Isn't it probably better for him to be taken care of at home now that it's getting close to the end? Better to be at home than at the hospital when the time comes.
He says that he intends to fight until the end and that he has no intention of coming home to die. So I'll respect his wishes and keep staying with him at the hospital as much as I can. And I feel like I want him to keep going and keep fighting, even if it's only one day at a time. Just gotta keep fighting and hope for the best. It may be selfish of me to feel that way, but it's the truth. And that's because I don't want to lose him.
Then why don't you spend more time with him at the hospital, attending to his needs and giving him moral support? He definitely needs it from you. You shouldn't just be going to work as usual while he's going through all this. After all, this isn't just a head cold that he's got. He's fighting for his life. I'm sure that my boy would love to have as much of your devoted support as possible now that he's in such a critical situation.
Of course, I agree with you on that. And I want to be by his side too, as much as I possibly can, wherever I can. But unfortunately, if I don't work, we can't pay our bills. That's just the reality of the current situation. We have no money coming in.
Wow, you really are a cold-hearted person sometimes. Is that really all there is to it? It's just about money. Surely there are things more important than that. I mean, if it were me, I would even go into debt just so that I could be at his side during his time of need. Why aren't you willing to do that for him?
Well, Derek is telling me that I should keep working and making money, so that's what I'm doing. It's as simple as that. He and I are on the same page. And I'm actually headed over to the hospital to see him right after we finish this call, so that'll be good. We can eat dinner together. I am making a point of seeing him every day. It's my one and only mission in life. There's nothing more important to me than this now.
Oh, is that so? It's funny that you should say that. It's interesting because, you know, I've been thinking a lot lately. And I wonder if marrying you is what caused Derek to start having all these health problems that he's now dealing with. It makes sense to me.
What? Just what are you trying to say to me, Gloria? What are you getting at?
What I'm saying is that you've been a jinx for him. A bringer of bad luck. A curse, even. I mean, just look at the big picture. You married him but haven't given him any children, and then he got sick and he's been in and out of the hospital ever since you two got together. And now he's bedridden and we don't know what's coming next. It certainly doesn't look good, that's for sure. The chain of events is pretty clear to me. He was always happy, went to good schools and had a good job. Then it all turned into a nightmare in the blink of an eye when he married you, Audrey. All the money we spent on tutors, extracurricular activities, and the rest of his education has also gone to waste. What a shame.
Please, for Derek's sake, don't say such things. None of this was caused by him. He's always done right by both you and me.
Oh, I'm not blaming Derek for any of this. None of it is his fault. Not at all. But his judgment about you has definitely been poor. Because no matter how hard I try to see it from his perspective, I'm just amazed that he let himself get involved with a low-class woman like you. He should have split up with you right away, but, of course, he wouldn't listen to our advice on the subject, as usual. That's how he's always been, hard-headed and stubborn. My brilliant son only became like this after marrying you, a single mother with only a high school education and nothing to offer him.
Gloria, please, save this for some other time. Now isn't really the time for all this, is it?
Oh, isn't it? Then when is a good time for me to say it to you? I've held my tongue for too long now. I can't keep quiet about it any longer. So here it is. I've never liked you, and it's always been obvious to me that you are bad for my son in every way. I see no redeeming qualities in you. But Derek has always been your ally and supporter and has defended you. But then he got sick and then couldn't take care of you anymore. That's why I'm saying all this to you now. The time has come.
Gloria, I am sorry I haven't been the daughter-in-law that you wanted me to be. I really am. However, I fully intend to be the best wife and caregiver to him that I can be, and to take better care of him than anyone else can. Like I said, it's my one and only mission in life now. So I will continue to love and support him with my full effort and devotion, just as I have been doing throughout this ordeal. You can count on that.
You'd better. It'll be a real problem for everyone if you dump him now, after he's gotten sick and can't do anything useful. That would be a disaster for everyone involved. After all, who would look after him then? Us? We certainly couldn't take care of him the way that he needs to be cared for now. Look, just do what you're supposed to do as his wife and then leave us alone, okay? Don't forget that he's counting on you, and so are we. Just give us regular updates on his condition and let us know if anything changes. It's your responsibility. It's all on you.
Okay, I understand, and will keep taking care of him as I have been. By the way, are you and Bob not going to visit him in the hospital at all? You still haven't been to see him, and he's wondering why.
About that. No, we won't be going yet, and that's because we're old and we need to be careful to not get sick. Who knows what kind of germs we might catch if we go and hang around a place with that many sick people in it. That's just asking for a case of the flu, COVID, or who knows what. Plus, if we got sick, that would just be one more thing for Derek to worry about, wouldn't it? That won't do. Not at all. It's best not to take that risk. So no, we won't be visiting him at the hospital, out of an abundance of caution. That's actually another good reason to bring him home, by the way.
Oh, I see. I guess that makes sense. It'll be hard to explain to him, though.
But we're obviously thinking of him all the time. I mean, always. Always sending our thoughts and prayers. And it's precisely because we can't go visit him that we're in touch with you like this, too. Your role in all this is crucial now. So you better be sure to tell him that we're thinking of him, okay? Don't forget.
Of course. I don't mind doing that for you and for him, but, you know, Derek is still able to use his phone, so wouldn't it be better if you and Bob called him and told him that yourselves? I'm sure he'd love to hear from you. It would make his day.
No, thank you. Talking to our child whose life is hanging by a thread. I just can't. That's just too much for us to handle. Too much for us to bear. We're too old and fragile for that. I'm afraid it might cause Bob to have a panic attack, or worse. Can you please think a little more of how that would make us feel? Try to see it from our perspective for a change. This is why inconsiderate people are such a problem. They never think about others' feelings. I mean, good grief.
Oh, okay. Well, I apologize then. Oh, we're almost at the bus stop for the hospital. I have to go now. Have a good night, Gloria.
You'd better take good care of our boy. He's the only son we've got. That's pretty much all that you're good for. So don't screw it up.
Gloria, do you have a minute to talk right now?
What do you want, Audrey? I'm about to get in the bathtub for a nice long soak.
Well, it's about Derek's condition. There's been a change, and not for the better, unfortunately. The doctor told me today that we need to start preparing ourselves for the worst-case scenario. I think we should listen to him.
Huh? What happened?
Yes, there's been a sudden deterioration in his condition.
They say that they were able to save him
This time, but next time he might be in much more serious danger, and that he might not make it through that again.
Oh, is that so? But why haven't we heard anything from you until now? Are you too busy to call us again? I thought I told you to let us know if his condition changed.
But I did call you. I called you and left a message.
Didn't you listen to it?
Please check your missed calls. I did call you, and I did leave a message just like I promised you I would.
Oh, no. It looks like you actually did call us. So sorry. We were outside and I didn't notice your call.
So when are you coming to see your son?
He needs your support now more than ever.
He's asking about you.
Let me think about it. But you say he's okay now, right?
Yes. He's stabilized now, but it's not 100%, and last night was rough. Who knows what'll happen next time? It's delicate and extremely touch and go right now. So I really think that you and Bob should come here and see him as soon as you're able to. It'd do him a world of good to see you both.
Okay. We'll come if he's in danger again, for sure. Definitely. So just give us a call when and if that happens.
So, are you saying that you're not coming to see him today?
Seriously? What? No, not today. You're going to let us know if something happens again, right?
But if we proceed on that assumption, he might actually die without being able to see you.
What can I say? If it happens, it happens. We'll just have to hope that it doesn't. Anyway, he has you looking out for him, right? That's the most important thing. And tell him that we'll go visit him soon, okay? That'll make him feel better for sure.
Okay, I'll tell him that, but...
Fine. Then I'm going to get in the bathtub now. Let us know if anything else comes up. Audrey, come back here. Where do you think you're going? We're not done talking yet. What do you think you're doing, running away in the middle of this conversation like that?
I have nothing more to say to you. The conversation is over.
Oh no, you're not getting away that easily. You really are gonna be the disrespectful daughter-in-law all the way until the end of this, aren't you?
Are you serious? After the cremation, you actually slapped me in the face, Gloria. How did you expect me to react? You went completely insane. That was totally out of hand and uncalled for. You should be ashamed. If the family hadn't intervened immediately, I would have called the police.
That's a complete exaggeration. Bob and I were just noticing how disrespectful and inappropriate you were being.
What on earth are you talking about? What did I do?
I mean, you were all smiles after the funeral. Smiling ear to ear for all to see. Shameful. And I didn't see you shed a single tear. Not one. You were laughing and talking with all the relatives, just as happy as you could be. What is wrong with you? Bob and I saw all of it with our own eyes. Don't try to deny it.
That's because I was relieved for your son and my husband. Derek had been desperately fighting that sickness for such a long time. He was tired and he was in pain all the time. You'd know that if you'd ever visited him at the hospital. And he was finally released from all that pain and suffering. That's what I was thinking about when I was smiling. His being free from pain and suffering is a reason to be happy, not sad. It's too bad that you're unable to see that.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. Not for a minute. The truth is that you're happy to get your hands on his inheritance, isn't it? You are well aware that my boy was due to receive a large inheritance from his grandfather, aren't you? That's the real reason that you stayed with him, took care of him, and didn't divorce him. You had your eyes on that inheritance all along.
That's a disgraceful accusation. That money had nothing to do with Derek and I being together. I loved him.
Yes, well, the words of an uneducated single mother simply cannot be trusted. They are a shallow and stupid breed of human, as I've said many times before.
Gloria, you have no cause or right to speak to me this way. You are completely out of line. Once again.
At any rate, we were extremely upset by your behavior. It was just unseemly and unacceptable. And we won't be giving any inheritance to a daughter-in-law who's so happy at our son's passing. And since you say that you don't care about the inheritance, that's okay with you, right? No complaints, right? I mean, you weren't with him because of the inheritance anyway, right? You said so yourself.
Of course. By all means, take it all for yourselves. I don't want any of it. Even if there were something that Derek left behind for me, I couldn't use it anyway. It's all yours. I'm also going to be moving out of our house as soon as possible.
What? Moving already? Really? Why? But that house is practically brand new. It's only been a few years since it was built.
Yes, that's true. However, I will be moving out soon.
Are you saying that you don't want any of your inheritance? None at all.
That's correct. I have no need for it anymore. I mean, you have no intention of giving it to me anyway, right? Or might I be able to have just a little of it?
If you say that you don't want it, we're certainly not going to give it to you. Why would we do that? You're serious about what you're saying right now, right? Let's be perfectly clear about it and have no backtracking later on. Because if you come back to us later saying that you changed your mind and you want it after all, we're not going to give it to you.
No problem. That's perfectly fine by me. It's all yours. Take it. If you're that concerned about me changing my mind, we can write up an abandonment of inheritance. Shall we do that?
Sure, let's do that. That's a very good idea. Okay then, go ahead and put that plan into action as soon as possible.
All right. I do have one thing to ask in return, although it's not a precondition or anything like that.
Oh, do you? What now? What else do you want? I'm not entertaining any unreasonable requests from you. Keep it within reason.
All I want is your promise that you won't bother me anymore ever again after we do this. That's what I want. And I also want to keep Derek's remains. I will decide on the burial place before the mourning period ends.
Is that it? That's everything? Nothing more than that? In that case, we're more than happy to oblige your request. We have no intention of ever getting involved with you again, either.
Understood. Fair enough then. It's settled. Well then, I will be in touch once I've taken care of the abandonment of inheritance. Thank you for everything.
Audrey, you are really a lowlife. Is there nothing that you won't stoop to? Where in the world are you hiding out? Come back to the house right now.
Sorry, but that's not possible at this time. I've moved out already and I am in my new place.
Yeah, it must be somewhere nearby though. Where is it? If you won't come here, we'll go to you. Where's your new place? Give us the address right now.
No, I won't be doing that. You agreed to cut all contact with me. Remember? Don't forget our agreement.
But you're the one who didn't hold up your end of the bargain. Why is Derek's inheritance nothing but debt? We're really screwed. This is untenable. Where's all his inheritance money from his grandfather? Where did it all go?
Oh, that? I donated all the money to a worthy charity before Derek passed away. Derek wanted it that way.
What? What are you saying?
As you know, Derek was suffering from an incurable disease, and it seemed that he wanted that money to be used to help others who are suffering from similar afflictions.
What are you talking about? You donated all of it. All of it? There was over $200,000 there. Not to mention that the mortgage on the house isn't even paid off yet.
When we bought the house, we still hadn't gotten any money from his grandpa. And Derek was still healthy and working back then, so…
But surely that kind of loan is supposed to be paid off when you know that the borrower doesn't have long to live. Why hasn't it been?
We were able to pay the mortgage with just my salary, so that's the way that we left it.
That's just what I'm saying. That's not how it's supposed to be done. Leaving debt unpaid when you know that money is coming in is just… Why would you do that? And on top of that, he's got unpaid credit card debt as well. All there is debt. Nothing but debt.
What can I say? He was bored in the hospital, so he was doing a lot of therapeutic shopping. It made him happy.
You're the wife, and you should have been paying for that.
Hey, I had already signed off on my abandonment of inheritance, you know. And as for the credit card, Derek said that he got it back when he was in college and that Bob is the guarantor for it. So, now you're responsible for that, too.
Just what in the world are you trying to do to us? Are you saying that Derek never had any intention of giving us any of his inheritance?
Yes. Sorry to say it, but that is pretty much what it looks like to me. And that is also what he wrote in a letter to me and asked me not to read it until after he was gone. So yes, we can safely assume that he had no intention of giving you anything.
And you abandoned your inheritance, knowing about all this beforehand?
Of course. After all, it was my husband's final wish, and I intended to honor it. It was my duty to honor it, in fact.
What are you saying? I don't understand. Why has he been so cruel to us? We raised him from the time he was a baby. This is horrible. Cruel. That's not the kind of boy I raised.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he was thinking the same thing about you and Bob, Gloria. I mean, you didn't even go to visit him in the hospital when he was dying. So that's why he left you nothing but debt. What comes around goes around.
What? What did he say that we did to him?
He told me that you didn't care about him, always ignored him, and made him do only what you wanted him to do, not what he wanted. And he didn't like the way that you bullied me, his loving wife. Once again, what comes around goes around. So, when Derek finally got his hands on Grandpa's money, he decided to spend it with joyful abandon. And that's just what he did. And you know, after he got sick, he told me that he believed that you and Bob were just waiting for him to die. I think that he probably wanted to get back at you for never even once visiting him while he was in the hospital. I can't really say that I blame him.
We were thinking of him and worrying about him in our own way. He should have known that.
Were you really? Honestly? After he got sick, didn't you say that raising him had been a waste of time and money?
No, that's not true.
Well, if you didn't like this inheritance situation, you can always just declare personal bankruptcy. That's certainly one option.
Personal bankruptcy? You must be joking. No thanks. I'd rather we just abandon the inheritance ourselves, too.
No, that won't work because you've already taken possession of a few $1,000s in that bank account, haven't you? And I also heard that you've already gone ahead and moved into the house. Is that also true? So, is abandoning the inheritance even an option anymore? Somehow, I don't think so.
Huh? What do you mean? We can't abandon the inheritance anymore?
Oh, I'm sorry. After all, I'm just a college dropout and I have no idea about these things. You should probably look into it on your own or consult an attorney about it. This stuff is so complicated and I'm so uneducated.
You witch! You knew all about this all along and said nothing to us. How petty and vindictive. Treating us like this, no matter how cold we may have been to you, is just beyond the pale. We're Derek's parents. Not to mention, we're your parents-in-law, too. Does this mean nothing to you?
Oh, really? Is that so? This outcome was inevitable, in my opinion. I can't believe you didn't see it coming, to be honest. After all, you were always ridiculing my high school education and my single motherhood. Honestly, Is there a person on Earth who would actually want to help you after being treated so badly by you for so long?
And he canceled his life insurance. Did you know about that too? How are we supposed to live now? We're screwed.
I have no idea. It sounds like you and Bob need to think and talk things over.
Wait, Audrey. You know, you and I are actually in the same boat, so to speak.
How do you figure?
Well, we just lost our beloved son, and you just lost your husband. We're both going through the same thing and feeling the same sorrow. So how about helping each other out a bit? Derek was always saying before that your salary is pretty good. And you also just said that your salary was enough to pay the mortgage, right?
Don't lump me into the same category as you.
We're not the same. Not at all. I loved my husband with all my heart, but all you two care about is money. Okay. If you help us out now, we'll apologize, make amends, and give you the credit that you deserve and never got from us. We'll respect you and treat you better as our honored daughter-in-law.
No, there's no need for any of that anymore. It's much too late. The love of my life is at peace with the angels now. And it's really ridiculous for you to be asking anything of me at this point. Derek's probably laughing his head off watching all this from up there.
Please don't say that. It's just cruel. Please come back and live in the house that you built. Then we can all live together. I mean, isn't it tough being all by yourself?
Sure, it's tough being alone, but living with the two of you would be 1,000 times tougher.
Don't you feel any obligation or connection to us anymore? After all, didn't we help pay for some of your wedding expenses?
Ha! You said that you would help out, but in the end, we never got a dime from you.
What? Really? Was that what happened? I don't remember that. Okay, then I'll do all the household chores and take care of everything for you, Audrey. How about that?
No, I'm perfectly capable of doing all that stuff by myself, so no thank you. And besides, I have somewhere to be, so you'll have to excuse me now.
And just where is it that you have to be? Maybe you're going to visit Derek's grave.
No, I have to be at the police station.
Why do you have to go to the police station?
Because you slapped me, remember? I need to go file a police report about it. It was assault. Plain and simple.
What? You're doing that now, after all this time has passed.
Well, it's up to me when I decide to report it. Unfortunately for you, there's no statute of limitations. And it looks like a family member is willing to be a witness for me too, so…
Wait just a minute! Audrey, please, please forgive us!
No, I most certainly will not forgive you. I fully intend to repay you for the horrible way that you've always treated me. It's only fair, after all. After that, Gloria said that she wanted me to withdraw the police report. However, I went through an attorney, demanded a settlement fee from her and Bob, and got the money. In the end, my in-laws didn't file for bankruptcy. They sold the house, moved back to their old place, and apparently are still paying off the debt that Derek left them and the remainder of the mortgage that they couldn't recoup from the sale of the house. Them having to go back to work at that age is, well, pretty sad. And I've heard that they're spreading a rumor to everyone that it was all my fault, of course. From what I hear, they've gradually become pariahs, disliked by their relatives and neighbors because of their own terrible attitudes and money-grubbing ways. They thought that my husband's death would be a windfall for them, but it turned out to be exactly the opposite. For me, this is the best revenge. I didn't know Derek's plan at the time, but he did tell me while he was still alive that he couldn't leave me any inheritance. Despite that, I still wanted to be with him, and I don't regret donating all that money in the least. Not at all. Because I loved him. I also wanted that money to be used to help people if there were people in need of it. Fortunately, I have some savings from before my marriage, and, while Derek was still alive, he showered me with gifts regularly. They were always very expensive gifts, and, at the time, I thought it was too much, but… Now I understand what he meant when he told me that all those gifts were for a time when I might be in need. However, I don't want to sell any of it, and I intend to keep moving forward on my own. The things that he gave me hold many precious, happy memories for me.
I will hold on to them.
And live my best life so that Derek can look down from heaven and know that I am doing just fine. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like the video and follow our channel for more great videos like this one.
Hey, Emma, I'll pick you up tomorrow at 11.
Got it. Thanks.
How does it feel to be moving out of your place? It must be weird seeing your apartment empty. How's the cleaning going?
It is. I've lived here so long, and it's really sad to see it like this. I have a walkthrough scheduled for tomorrow. I'm almost done cleaning. I'm hoping I can get some of my deposit back.
Yeah, the management company will probably try to rip you off. They always do.
Maybe, but I always kept the place really clean. I have a good feeling that I'm going to get at least some of it back.
Yeah, Emma, you like to keep things pretty spotless, don't you? My mom usually cleans my place for me.
That must be nice. You must be so thankful for your mom. Speaking of which, aren't you at your parents' house, being spoiled as we speak, you lucky thing?
Since I got my transfer, I haven't really been able to see my parents, so my mom asked me to come. You should have come too. It would have been nice to have you here.
Yeah, since we've been apart, I've wished I could spend some time with your family. They're such nice people.
You are family too, you know? My mom said she wished she could see you.
Really? You mean it? I'm really happy to hear that your mom would say that. Since I lost my parents when I was young, hanging out with your mom has been really fun for me. They've always been so warm and welcoming to me. Of course, I'm lucky to have you, but I appreciate having them just as much.
We're married now. You know you can always count on my mom. Speaking of which, I got our marriage certificate yesterday. It goes without saying, but you shouldn't worry about it. You can think of my mom as your mom.
Thanks. I guess I won't be seeing her much for a while, but I'll reach out to her when I can. I'd like to be closer to her.
I think that would make her really happy. She already talks about how much she loves you, and spending more time together would just make your bond even stronger. By the way, I'm really sorry about this whole relocation thing. I know this transfer came out of nowhere, and we had to get married in such a rush.
Even though it sucks to be apart from each other, I know that if there was anything you could have done to prevent it, you would have. Although we did get engaged because of it. So at least one good thing came from this.
You're right, I would have. But I saw this as a big opportunity for me, so even if it meant we were apart, I thought it would be a step in the right direction for our future. I know you spent your whole life in Evanstown, and literally everyone you know is there. I feel so guilty to ask you to move out here where you don't know anyone. You'll be completely starting over.
Luke, you'll be there. It doesn't matter if I don't know anyone else. Besides, my friends have said they'll come visit me.
Great, that's good to hear. I'll do my best to get home from work as early as possible. I'll keep you from getting lonely.
Thanks. Anyway, I've got to get back to cleaning.
Of course, good luck getting it all done.
Thanks. Oh, tell your mom I said hey.
Hey, Emma, you're at home, right? Like a good little girl?
Yes, I'm here. You've got GPS on my phone, so clearly you know where I am. I don't know why you even ask. You can just check for yourself, can't you?
Yeah, I can. I just like to hear you say it. I can check anytime I like. It's handy to have, and you would do well not to forget that I have it. If you ever try to leave me, it's over for you. Over. Do you get that?
Yeah, you've made it clear. I can't get away from you.
Good. It's good you understand that. You're the one that went running off and crying to the police. This is the punishment you get for that. It's only natural. I can't trust you to mind your manners like a good wife should, so this is what you get.
You are the lowest of the low. I can't believe you. You told the police I was mentally unstable and dragged me back here. How could you do that to me? How could you lie like that?
Well, you learned your lesson, didn't you? The police don't care, and they don't believe you. They aren't gonna help you, so there is no point in pulling that again. You can never leave me. Ever. You won't get a second chance if you disobey me again.
Please stop this. You've hacked my iCloud account. All my chats are monitored. You've got GPS on me. If I do anything you don't like, anything at all, you threaten to hit me? You won't let me do anything at all. What happened to you? Who even are you? You never did any of this to me before.
I could say the same about you. You were a different person a few months ago. What are you whining about? Do you have something you want to say to me? Look at you, getting all brave.
I'm not whining. And don't jump down my throat like that. Can't you at least give me back my credit cards? What about access to my savings account? All of that was mine before we even got married. Please.
Now that we're married, I think it's better if I hang on to those. Don't you?
But everything you took is in my name. They're all things I had from before we were married.
How would I know what you were using them for if I just gave them back to you? For all I know, you'll use that money to run off to try to leave me.
If I was getting ready to leave you, you would know, wouldn't you? You know every little move I make.
You'll probably go crying to the police again. Here I am, Mr. Nice Guy, and you're saying that you want to get a divorce. I didn't do anything wrong. I take care of you, and you want to leave. We just got married, and you're already saying that sort of thing.
Luke, it is because you have changed so much. You are completely different than the person you were before. I hardly recognize the man you have become.
That's not true. I haven't changed at all.
You have. You're always yelling, grabbing me, and yanking me around. You hurt me. You scare me. You've taken all my money to trap me and keep me from going anywhere. You won't let me get close to anyone around me. What am I supposed to do? At this rate, I feel like I'm going to disappear.
You shouldn't think about that. If you just mind your manners, it'll be all right. You just be a good little wife.
I'm trying to do every single thing you're telling me, which is why I think it's fair to let me use my money to do something I want to for once.
I've been working myself to the bone, and all I hear about from you is how you want to go to some concert. If I'm being honest, it's really disrespectful.
I don't think I'm being disrespectful at all. You know how much I like that band, and they're doing their farewell tour. It would mean so much to me if I could go see them, since this is my last chance.
You think selfishly using money that could be put towards our future is okay? Is that what you're telling me?
Luke, we're talking about my money that I had even before we knew each other.
A married woman shouldn't be out partying.
If that's how you feel, what do you want me to do for fun? What is left for me?
Spend time with me, obviously. Besides, I was thinking, we should go on a honeymoon.
What? Really? You mean it?
My mom has been nagging me to take you somewhere. Ever since the wedding, she has been bugging me about it. She texts me almost every day. When are you going? Where are you going? It's been driving me nuts.
Oh, that's the reason.
By the way, if you hear from my mom, you better watch what you say. I'll hear about it if you say anything out of line.
I know.
Remember, I'm also keeping up with all your chats and texts. I'm checking each and every text message you get. Anyway, I'll head home around 6 o'clock tonight. I'm gonna want to relax, so tidy up the bathroom for me. I'm gonna want a hot shower as soon as I get back. Also, make sure dinner is ready for me when I get out of the shower. It better be something I like. If you try to feed me some garbage I don't like, you'll be sitting alone on the balcony for an hour to think about what you've done.
Mrs. Jackson, please help me. Please wake up.
What's going on? Emma, are you okay? Give me just a second. I just woke up. I'm still a little groggy.
Mrs. Jackson, I'm really sorry. I feel bad for waking you up and for calling you so many times in the middle of the night. I'm so sorry to bother you, really.
What on earth is this about? Aren't you on your honeymoon right now? What is going on? You and Luke were supposed to be in Hawaii right now, aren't you? Did something happen?
I'm coming to your house right now. Please, I need your help.
What? What do you mean you need help? Seriously, aren't you in Hawaii with Luke? What's going on? You are scaring me.
I've run away. I couldn't take it anymore.
You couldn't take it anymore? What do you mean by that? Did you and Luke have a fight or something?
Ever since Luke and I got married and moved in together, things have really changed. He's a totally different person. He's always so angry, and he screams at me at the drop of a hat. He's taken all my bank accounts and my credit cards away from me. He totally cut me off from my finances. He won't even let me leave the house. I am trapped.
You're telling me Luke is doing all that?
Yes. There's even been times he's hit me. He's hacked my phone and my computer. He's gotten my passwords to all my accounts, and he's been spying on me. He's even using GPS to track me down and make sure I can't get away from him.
I can't believe what I am hearing. How can that be true? My Luke doing all that?
It is true, all of it. Please, you've got to believe me. I thought I could use our honeymoon to make my escape. It was the only time I knew I stood a chance to actually get away. I managed to swipe some money and snuck out.
Wait just a minute. I can't keep all this straight. I feel like my head is spinning. I can't believe Luke would do any of that. How can you say all that? I don't understand. When we've sent messages, you've always told me that things were going great and that you were really happy.
Because Luke was watching everything I wrote. I had no choice. I had to tell you lies about my life. I couldn't tell you what was really going on. Being able to talk to you has been my only salvation. It is the only thing that has kept me going. He's blocked all my friends online and won't let me talk to any of them at all. Please, I am begging you. Just this once, you have to trust me. Believe me, not Luke.
I understand. Emma, I believe you. I want you to tell me everything. Start from the beginning. Take your time. Don't leave out any details. I won't say anything to Luke. Just come to the house. Everything is going to be okay.
Thank you so much. Mrs. Jackson, you have no idea what this means to me. Thank you. Thank you.
Damn it, woman, where are you? Here I am trying to take you on a honeymoon and you run off. Just what do you think you're doing? Is this how you're gonna repay me? I marry a worthless orphan girl like you who comes from nothing and nobody, and this is what you do? You've got to be kidding me.
I am leaving you. I want a divorce.
What? Are you looking for a beating? Because it sounds like you're asking to get hit.
I don't have to do what you say anymore. You don't own me. You can't hurt me anymore.
You little... Don't you get it? There is no one who can help you. You're mine. So why don't you go ahead and tell me where you're hiding?
Where are you, Luke?
That's none of your business.
Then it is none of your business where I am either. You've really changed, Luke. From the day we got married, you've become a completely different person. You really thought I couldn't get away from you, didn't you? You thought since my parents are gone and I don't have much family that I wouldn't have anybody to call when I needed help. You cut me off from the only friends I had. You said so many awful things about me and made sure everyone cut ties with me.
That's what you get for talking back and getting an attitude with me. You're pathetic. Who would want to be friends with someone like you anyway?
Every single day you yelled at me. I thought I would go crazy having to listen to you. I started to believe all those awful things you said about me were true. All you had to do was just be at home, and I felt so anxious and depressed that I was sick.
I can't believe I married such a worthless woman. And I was looking out for you. I was taking care of you. I was letting you know where you were failing, how you could be better. I did it for you.
For me? You did it for me. You're serious? Are you sure you weren't just using me as a punching bag to make yourself feel better? As a stress reliever?
You really think somebody like you could ever give me any relief? You make everything harder. You create stress. You don't take it away. Emma, if you don't tell me where it is you're hiding right this minute, the next time I see you, some really bad things are going to happen to you. Very bad things. I'll make sure you can never run away from me again. Do you understand, Emma? You won't be able to run anywhere, or even run at all. You get what I'm saying?
Luke, you stop this instant.
Huh?
It's your mother. What the hell do you think you're doing?
What? Who is this? Mom, is that really you?
That's right. You heard me. What do you think you're doing to Emma? And I can't believe the things you are saying. What makes you think you can talk to a woman like that? Just because you married her? How can you talk like that to Emma? She's a person, Luke, not your property.
Is this a trick? Emma, you're joking, right? You're pretending to be my mom.
Last night, you sent me a picture, remember? It was of some of the local Hawaiian food you were enjoying on your honeymoon. You said the poi was really good. You were talking about how much you thought I would enjoy it because it isn't too sweet and it isn't too sour. You were telling me how you wished you could send some home to me.
Oh man, it really is you, isn't it, Mom?
I told you it was me.
Mom, you've got it all wrong. Ever since Emma and I have moved in together, she's been acting really strange. I think it's because we moved. She doesn't know anyone and she's all alone a lot, so she started acting totally crazy. She's been saying some really weird things lately. You shouldn't believe anything Emma says. She's lost her mind. She's off her medication. You've got to believe me. She's trying to trap me.
Emma's not on any medication. I'm appalled you'd try to say something like that. I have seen everything I need to see. No matter how you look at it, you're the one that is acting crazy.
It's been so stressful for me. I've been providing for Emma. I've been taking care of her. I've done everything for her and tried my best. It's been too much to handle.
That's just one more reason it would be best for the two of you to end things.
What are you talking about? I'm your son. How can you take her side? I love Emma.
You can't even see what you're doing, can you? The moment Emma walked in the door, I could see how upset she was. She was pitiful. She was all skin and bones, and she looked ill. She was white as a ghost. She was so scared. I almost cried when I saw how much she'd changed.
That's because she's gone crazy on me, Mom.
You're the crazy one, Luke. You have got to leave Emma alone.
No! Don't you get it, Mom? Emma is the only one for me. She's the most important thing to me in the world. You can't just take Emma's word for it. You've got to give me a chance. You're my mom, not hers. How can you believe her instead of me?
Emma was recording everything you said. Everything. Day after day.
What?
When I listened to it, I knew Emma wasn't lying to me. It's you. You're the problem. I felt sick to my stomach listening to all your verbal abuse.
No, you have it all wrong. This is some kind of conspiracy that Emma has come up with. I've always been good to Emma. I treated her like a queen.
Luke, it's me, Emma.
Emma, you have got to stop this. Please, don't tell my mom any more of your lies. Please, I'm asking you nicely.
Are you seriously keeping up the act with me? You're trying to tell me that I'm lying? It doesn't matter what you say to me. I am leaving you. It's over. We are getting a divorce.
You're at my parents' house, aren't you? That's where you're hiding out. I should have known. That's it. I'm headed to the airport this minute. I'll be there as fast as I can.
Even if you come, you won't find me.
Why not? You're running off to hide somewhere else? You can't hide from me forever, you know.
I've gone to the police, and this time they believe me. I'm getting a restraining order. You won't be able to come near me again, Luke. There's nothing you can do about it.
Emma, I was so happy when we got married. It was the best day of my life. Please, don't leave me now. Don't abandon me.
You're the one who abandoned me. You abused me daily. You made me question who I am. You isolated me. You cut me off from all my friends. You stashed me away and used me like your own personal slave. You thought you could get away with it because I didn't have any family. You thought I was an easy victim, didn't you? Just because I'm all alone in the world, you thought that you could do anything you wanted to, didn't you? Didn't you? Tell me the truth.
I didn't think that.
Really? Because even in the short time we were married, I couldn't help but get that feeling. You know, it's sad, really, everything you've done to me. I never want to be with another man like you ever again for the rest of my life. I will never, ever let this happen to me again.
Emma, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said so many mean things to you. I would take it back if I could. I was just trying to do what was best for you. That's why I had to be so rough. I'm hard on you because I love you. Forgive me, please. I love you, Emma. I really do.
Next time you see me, you're gonna make me pay, right? You were saying how you were gonna make sure I could never get away from you again, weren't you?
Okay, I know that sounded bad, but I didn't really mean it. Not like that. I was just trying to scare a little sense into you is all.
It doesn't matter if you meant it or not. I can't live with somebody who threatens me like that. No one can talk to me that way. It isn't okay. And you need to give me back everything that was mine before we got married. My credit cards and my savings, all of it. Also, after everything you've done to me, all the damage you've caused, I'll be asking for alimony.
Emma, I'm sorry, really. You've got to give me a second chance. I won't hurt you again. Please, can't we work it out? This time will be different. I'll do whatever it takes to keep you happy, Emma. I'll do anything to make you feel safe again. I can fix this. Don't just walk away. Don't give up on us.
I could never feel safe with you around. Just the thought of you makes my skin crawl. You always say I'm a failure. That I messed everything up? I'm the one that's giving up? But which one of us is the real failure here? Which one of us really killed our marriage? I don't need some man that's gonna lie to me, treat me like a slave, and control everything that I do. I wanted a husband and a partner, not a master and a jailer. What you really need to do is to spend some time alone. You need to take a long, hard look in the mirror and work on yourself. Eventually, we waded through all the legal proceedings, and I was able to safely divorce my husband. It was such a relief to finally be done. From the outside looking in, I know he looked like a good husband. He had a job, he paid the bills, he gave me a home. But all the evidence the police collected helped my case. If it weren't for them, things might not have gone so well for me. Because of all the mental suffering my husband had caused, I was awarded alimony and a restraining order so that he could never come near me again. That was the biggest relief of all. Luke's mother was even able to find all my credit cards and get them back to me. She was able to get all my savings back. There were times that my husband had hit me, but I didn't have any real proof. The only evidence I had was in writing. And that wasn't enough for him to be arrested for it. That being said, I don't know what the future will bring. I think I'll be okay on my own. I have the money from the alimony to help me. But I don't think my ex can ever go home again. There's a rift in his family now. His mother knows who he really is. She's cut him off completely. She told most of her family about the divorce and explained everything that had happened between us. Even though everyone knows the truth about what happened, I still don't feel like I can ever live in the same place again. It doesn't feel like home to me anymore. I decided to go to a women's shelter instead, and I was finally able to find some peace there. I've been able to explain myself to my friends. It felt really good to tell them my side of the story, and they've been very understanding. I honestly don't know what I would do without them. Little by little, I'm learning to be my old self again. I haven't been able to get over everything that happened to me. My husband was my first love, and having him change on me like that was a lot to deal with. Sometimes I think about what would have happened if I never got away from my ex. It was really frightening when I had to go back to him after the first time I tried to get away. I still have flashbacks sometimes. The memories are so bad that there are times I find myself hyperventilating. But even though my story is a difficult one, I don't want to become a prisoner to my memories. Step by step, little by little, I want to move forward and live my life. I have so much support from my friends and even Luke's mother, and I want to live my life in a way that shows how much it means to me. I want to be able to return the favor. I have things I want to do in life, and I can't let my ex keep that from me. Even if things are really hard for me right now, I know it's going to get better. I am going to live my life so that I can find happiness, and one day, I know I will smile again. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button for more.